He muttered about how pathetic the queen's choice of a spirit creature was. Like this whole thing was her fault. She was no longer of use to the spirit beast gate, declaring she should be replaced. They demanded she hand over all her equipment and treasures right then and there. And though the girl clearly didn't want to, she was weakened and couldn't do anything to resist. So the two had stolen the artifact and dipped the fuck out of there, as they fear that the witch will catch up to them soon. Meanwhile, the pupa watched in growing horror. This was bad, really bad. And so, while everyone was distracted, it figured now was its chance to get out of this mess. It cautiously began backing away from the cave, inching toward freedom. But just when it thought it was in the clear, the system popped up once more, to inform him of his stupidity. Since he is now an exclusive spirit beast by the queen, his master could summon him at will, and if the owner died, he would die too, putting him in a tight spot. But before the pupa could decide on what to do, chaos erupted. The freaking tiger burst out of nowhere yet again, and started tearing through everything in sight. The elders scattered, screaming, while the tiger caused absolute mayhem. And amid the chaos, the pupa got trampled like some unfortunate bug underfoot. Its tiny cries of protest were lost in the commotion until the witch finally noticed it. She picked up the pupa and inspected closely to only catch her by surprise, as she just noticed this little guy had a contract mark, and this was odd. So she quickly turned to the queen and asked where was the Kirin that she was planning to bond with. No wonder those scumbag left her to die. She actually contracted with a trash beast. But even though the girl was battered and bruised, she wasn't about to let this slide. Summoning what little strength she had left, she challenged the woman to a duel. But she got whipped instead, with no way of countering it. She was really pissed by the queen's audacity, so she plans to end her for good. But Qin Yung couldn't have that, as he would die as well, and so he threw himself in front of the girl, trying to shield her. But no matter how hard they tried, it wasn't enough. Moments later, the girl collapsed, her body motionless, her breath gone. The scene turned grimmer as the tiger's owner rewarded her beast with the remains of the carnage. But just when it seemed all hope was lost, a bright light flashed through the cave, blinding the pupa. And in the center of that light, a shadowy figure began to take shape. The figure revealed itself as Chenmo's soul, radiating an ethereal glow. This could be like what the goddess have said earlier. And just as he had assumed, the soul merged with the young girl's lifeless body. The reincarnation was complete. Meanwhile, the white tiger approached and was about to feast on the woman. But Chenmo said, "Cut that shit down," sending the beast flying a few meters through the air, and crashed in front of the witch. The sheer force of it left everyone completely stunned. How could the queen have this power when she was gravely weakened a second ago? Meanwhile, Qin Yung was losing it. He wasn't mistaken, she was definitely Chenmo. With this, he started bouncing wildly in Chenmo's hand, squealing and shouting her name, hugging her as tightly as a little squishy bug could manage, while he squealed out its identity, proudly announcing that it was none other than Qin Yung. But Chenmo just stood there, holding the absurdly large pupa in her hands, her face a perfect mix of confusion and disbelief. How could this possibly be her beloved Qin Yung? But suddenly, the pupa kept talking about how happy it was to see her again, and that made her blush. Still, she couldn't help but feel skeptical about the whole situation. There was no way this could be real. A dream? Maybe. A bizarre joke? Definitely possible. But before she could even try to figure it out, the bad bitch decided to snap out of her shock and charge. Her weapon sliced through the air with terrifying precision. But she easily blocked the attack with her pupa, leaving the witch visibly baffled. It was clear that the queen had somehow regained her strength, and the witch couldn't help but wonder how it was possible. Meanwhile, the pupa, still dangling upside down in Chenmo's grasp, couldn't help but feel just a little dizzy from being held like that for so long. But with the witch visibly confused, he took the opportunity